Have you ever wondered why the tension between China and the Philippines in the West Philippine Sea has been escalating, yet it hasn't led to a full-blown war or even World War III? We're living in a world where every news headline seems to bring a new crisis. In the heart of Asia, there's a simmering conflict that has been increasingly capturing the world's attention: the territorial dispute in the West Philippine Sea. China and the Philippines, two significant players in the Asia-Pacific region, are locked in a tense standoff over these waters. The West Philippine Sea, an area rich in natural resources, is a crucible of territorial claims and counterclaims. China, asserting its so-called nine-dash-line claim, contends it owns virtually the entire South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines, on the other hand, asserts its sovereignty over parts of the sea within its exclusive economic zone. The international community watches with bated breath as the tension ratchets up, concerned about the potential for conflict in a region that's a critical artery of global trade. As the tension mounts, you might be asking yourself, why hasn't this escalated into a full-blown war? It's a legitimate question. After all, history is littered with wars that started over territorial disputes. Why then, despite the growing tension and high stakes, do we not see a full-scale war erupting? What's keeping these two nations from crossing the line and plunging not just their countries but potentially the whole world into a devastating conflict? It's a fascinating and complex situation, one that requires a deep dive to fully understand. Over the course of this video, we'll be exploring this issue, dissecting the power dynamics, the stakes involved, and the deterrents that are keeping this conflict from escalating. If you're curious to know the answer, keep watching until the end. And just before we dive into the next scene, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and like this video. It takes just 3 seconds, and it helps us bring you more intriguing content. So are you ready to delve deeper? Stay tuned. Subscribe for more amazing content and keep wondering. So, who are the key players in this geopolitical chess game, you may ask? Well, let's delve into that. At the heart of this dispute, we have two main contenders, China and the Philippines. China, being a global heavyweight, stakes its claim on the West Philippine Sea based on historical rights. They argue that they have been active in the region for centuries and thus have a legitimate claim. On the other hand, the Philippines, backed by a 2016 International Tribunal ruling, maintains that the waters lie within its exclusive economic zone. Now, while it may seem like a two-player game, there are other influential nations pulling strings from the sideline. The United States, for instance, is a key player. As an ally of the Philippines, the U.S. has a vested interest in maintaining stability in the region. Their position? They've consistently opposed China's expansive claims, advocating for freedom of navigation in the disputed waters. But the plot thickens. Enter the ASEAN countries. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, including countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia, also have a stake in the South China Sea. Their stance is a bit more nuanced. While they emphasize the importance of peace and stability, they also express concerns about China's assertiveness. Then, there's the United Nations, the international referee, if you will. They uphold international law, and in this case, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which ironically, both China and the Philippines are signatories to. So, there you have it. This geopolitical chess game is more than just China and the Philippines. It's a complex web of power players, each with their own interests and strategies. But here's the million-dollar question. With all these powerful nations involved, what's keeping them from declaring war? What are the stakes? And most importantly, could this tension escalate into World War III? These power players are intricately linked in this dispute, but what's keeping them from declaring war? Stay tuned. What exactly is at stake in the West Philippine Sea that makes it a hotbed of tension? This question is key to understanding the situation. The West Philippine Sea, rich in resources and of strategic importance, is a significant piece on the global chessboard. Underneath its azure waters lies an abundance of untapped resources. It's a veritable treasure trove of oil and natural gas deposits, with estimates suggesting there could be as much as 11 billion barrels of oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Imagine the economic implications of such a wealth of resources. It's no wonder nations are vying for control. But it's not just about the resources. The West Philippine Sea is also a crucial artery of global trade. Each year, trillions of dollars worth of goods pass through these waters, making it one of the busiest and most vital trade routes in the world. A conflict here could disrupt global commerce, sending shockwaves through economies around the globe. And let's not forget the geopolitical implications. This body of water is a strategic flashpoint, a hotbed of tension between powerful nations. Control over the West Philippine Sea would provide a significant strategic advantage, giving the controlling nation a stronger hand in regional affairs. The stakes are high. Economically, the untapped resources have the potential to boost the economy of the nation that gains control. Strategically, control over these waters would significantly shift the balance of power in the region. And for the world at large, peace in the West Philippine Sea is crucial to maintaining the smooth flow of global trade. With such high stakes, one might think war is inevitable, so why hasn't it happened yet? Well, as you'll see in the next segment, there are several deterrents at play that have, so far, kept the situation from escalating into a full-blown war. So, stay tuned as we delve deeper into this intriguing geopolitical puzzle. What are the factors preventing this tension from turning into a full-scale war, you might wonder? Well, there are several key deterrents that are keeping the situation from escalating. Firstly, let's consider the potential economic fallout. In our globalized world, countries are interconnected in ways that make the prospect of war less appealing. China and the Philippines, like many nations, have an intertwined economy. A war would not only disrupt trade between these two nations, but it could also have a ripple effect on the world economy. This potential economic disaster serves as a strong deterrent to any military aggression. Next, we can't ignore the diplomatic consequences. The international community is watching, and any aggressive action could have severe diplomatic repercussions. A war between these nations would likely lead to sanctions, loss of allies, and global isolation. This makes the price of conflict astronomically high. And then, there's the elephant in the room: nuclear weapons. The presence of these devastating tools of war changes the stakes entirely. The potential for mass destruction and loss of life makes any conflict a dangerous gamble. The mutual assurance of destruction serves as a powerful deterrent, making nations think twice before escalating tensions. But it's not all about fear and potential catastrophe. There's also the role of international law and diplomacy. The world has come a long way in resolving conflicts through dialogue and negotiation. International organizations and treaties provide a platform for peaceful resolution of disputes and can help de-escalate tensions. They enforce laws that hold countries accountable for their actions, further deterring any potential conflict. So as we can see, there are numerous factors preventing this tension from turning into a full-scale war. These deterrents play a crucial role, but there's one more factor we haven't discussed yet. What could it be? How does it shape the dynamics between nations? Keep watching to find out. Are you ready to uncover the unseen factor that's been keeping these tensions from escalating into war? It's not the military might, nor the economic stakes, nor the international alliances. Rather, it's something much closer to home, something that each one of us contributes to. Public opinion. Yes, you heard it right. It's the collective voice of the general populace that often shapes the decisions of countries. It's the unwillingness of ordinary people, both in China and the Philippines, to engage in war. You see, it's easy to envision war as a chess game played by politicians and generals, but in reality, it's the people who are the pawns, and they're increasingly unwilling to be sacrificed for geopolitical gains. In China, though there's nationalist sentiment fueling the territorial claims, there's also a deep-rooted desire for stability. The Chinese people, having experienced rapid economic growth and social change in recent decades, value peace and prosperity over conflict. On the other side, the Philippines, despite its underdog status, reflects a similar sentiment. The Filipinos, having endured years of martial law and political turmoil, are all too familiar with the costs of conflict. They too value peace and stability, and are reluctant to support a war that could disrupt their hard-won gains. This public sentiment acts as a powerful brake on the escalating tensions. It's a reminder to the leaders that the true costs of war are borne not by them, but by their people. It's a call to resolve disputes through dialogue and diplomacy, not through force and intimidation. So, while the West Philippine Sea remains a flashpoint, the unseen factor of public opinion continues to keep the tensions from spiraling into a full-blown war. And that's something we should all be grateful for. And there you have it. The often overlooked but crucial factor in this geopolitical puzzle. Remember to always keep wondering, and don't miss out on more intriguing discussions. Subscribe for more amazing content. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.